Did you know that more than 6 out of 10 people in America can't handle a $1,000 emergency without going into debt? Think about that for a second. That means if the car breaks down, if the medical bill shows up, or if rent suddenly spikes, they're forced to borrow, swipe credit cards, or simply go without. And yet, many of these same people are the ones flashing the newest iPhone, showing off their vacation pictures, and rolling up in cars that cost more than some houses. From the outside, they look successful. They look like they've made it. But behind the curtain, many of them are stressed, drowning in debt, and one bad month away from collapse. Now let me ask you this. Where do you stand right now? Are you wealthy or are you broke? Not 10 years from now. Not when you land your dream job. Not when your business finally takes off. Right now, in this very moment. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Wealth isn't just about income. You could be making $10,000 a month and still be broke if you're spending $11,000. On the other hand, you could be making $3,000 and building true wealth if you know how to save, invest, and control your money. And that's where it gets uncomfortable. Because most of us don't really want to face the truth. It's easier to ignore the bank account, to pretend the credit card bill isn't real, to convince ourselves that next month will be better. But if you don't stop and ask yourself this one simple question, am I wealthy or am I broke right now? You'll never know where you actually stand. So today, I'm putting myself to the test. I'm going to break down what it really means to be wealthy versus broke. And I want you to walk through it with me, because by the time we're done, you won't just be entertained. You'll have a brutally honest look at your own financial reality. ... And I'll warn you now, the answer might surprise you. We live in a world where appearances can fool us. A person driving a shiny new car, wearing expensive clothes, eating out at fancy restaurants, and posting glossy Instagram pictures might look like they're living the dream. But the truth? Many of those people are buried under debt, juggling credit cards and losing sleep at night because they don't actually own that lifestyle. It owns them. On the flip side, there are people who don't look wealthy at all. They wear simple clothes. They don't brag about their purchases. They don't chase trends. And yet, behind the scenes, they have savings, investments, no debt, and the freedom to walk away from a job they hate if they want to. That's real wealth. The problem is, most of us don't really stop to figure out which side of the line we're on. We don't want to ask ourselves, am I wealthy or am I broke? Because it's uncomfortable. Because deep down, we know the answer might not match the story we're telling the world, or even the story we're telling ourselves. And here's why this matters more than ever. We're living in uncertain times. Prices are rising, job security isn't guaranteed, and the cost of living keeps climbing higher. If you don't know your real financial position, you could be blindsided at any moment. Understanding whether you're broke or wealthy right now isn't just about money. It's about freedom, security, and peace of mind. So in this video, we're gonna go beyond surface-level definitions of wealth. I'm gonna break down the misconceptions, the real indicators, and the mindset shifts that separate the truly wealthy from the secretly broke. And by the end, you'll walk away with more than just an answer. You'll walk away with clarity, with self-awareness, and with the tools to take back control of your financial journey. Because here's the truth. Wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about being free. Here's the problem. Most people have no idea what wealth actually means. We confuse looking rich with being rich, and that confusion is what traps millions of people in cycles of stress, debt, and financial chaos. Think about it. Society has programmed us to believe wealth is about material possessions. The big house, the latest car, the designer watch, the endless vacations that fill up social media feeds. And because of that, we chase symbols instead of substance. We measure our value based on what people see instead of what we actually have. The challenge is, This illusion comes with a cost. People stretch themselves to buy things they can't afford just to keep up appearances. They swipe credit cards, take out loans, and live paycheck to paycheck, all while looking like they've made it. And the scariest part? They often don't even realize they're broke, because their lifestyle tricks them into thinking they're doing well. But being broke isn't just about not having money in the bank. It's deeper than that. Being broke is about living without financial stability, about relying on debt to survive, about having no cushion for emergencies and no plan for the future. And this isn't just about individuals. This is about society as a whole. When most people are broke, entire economies are fragile. The truth is, many people avoid asking themselves the hard questions. They don't want to log into their bank app. They don't want to face their debt. They don't want to admit that their financial health is weaker than they thought. And so they keep pretending. They keep chasing the image of wealth while secretly struggling to pay the bills. And that's the real challenge. How do you know where you stand if you've been living in denial? How do you separate the illusion of wealth from the reality of wealth? This is where most people get stuck. They don't lack intelligence. They lack clarity. They don't lack ambition. They lack a framework to measure where they are. And until you understand that difference, you'll always be at risk of believing you're wealthy when in truth, you're barely holding it together. That's the challenge we're going to confront head on today. So how do you know if you're truly wealthy or just pretending? Let's strip away the illusions and look at the actual indicators. Number 1, savings versus spending. Wealthy people have a safety net. They have money tucked away in savings or investments that can carry them through unexpected storms. If your car breaks down, if you lose your job, if life throws you a curveball, you're covered. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck with nothing in reserve, and no matter how much you make, you're living broke. Having $5,000 in the bank and zero debt can mean more wealth than someone making $10,000 a month but owing $50,000. 2, debt versus freedom. Here's a harsh truth. Debt is modern slavery. If every dollar you earn is already promised to someone else, credit card companies, banks, lenders, you're not free. You're broke even if your lifestyle looks glamorous. True wealth isn't about how much you owe. It's about how little you owe. Wealthy people use debt strategically, as a tool. Broke people use it as a crutch to keep their lifestyle afloat. 3, lifestyle choices. Ask yourself this. Is your lifestyle controlled by your income, or is your income controlled by your lifestyle? Wealthy people live below their means. They buy assets before they buy toys. They understand that luxury is a reward, not a necessity. Broke people, on the other hand, chase instant gratification. They upgrade their phone before upgrading their bank account. They lease a car before building an emergency fund. They value the appearance of wealth over the security of wealth. 4, mindset. Abundance versus scarcity. Wealth isn't just numbers, it's a mindset. Wealthy people think long-term. They plant seeds today for a harvest tomorrow. They focus on building, investing, and creating. Broke people think in short-term bursts. They ask, how can I survive this week? While wealthy people ask, how can I thrive 10 years from now? The broke mindset is reactive, always scrambling. The wealthy mindset is proactive, always planning. 5, control versus control. Chaos. This might be the simplest indicator of all. Wealthy people are in control of their money. They know where it goes. They track it. They plan it. Money is a tool they use. Broke people let money control them. Bills pile up, spending is random, and the stress never ends. They don't tell their money where to go. Their money tells them where they can go. And here's the shocking part. You don't need millions in the bank to be wealthy right now. You just need stability, freedom from crushing debt, the ability to save, and the mindset to keep growing. On the flip side, you could be earning a high income and still be broke if all those pieces are missing. Wealth isn't about how much you have. It's about how strong your foundation is. All right, so we've talked about the illusions of wealth, the traps of debt, and the mindset differences. But now comes the most important question. How do you figure out if you're actually broke or wealthy right now? Here are the steps. Step 1. Face the numbers. You can't fix what you refuse to measure. Open your bank app. Look at your balance. Look at your debt. Write it all down. This part is uncomfortable. That's why most people avoid it. But clarity is power. Until you know the truth, you're just guessing. Step 2. Calculate your net worth. This is the simplest way to measure your current financial status. Assets, liabilities equals net worth. If you own more than you owe, you're on the path to wealth. If you owe more than you own, you're broke, no matter how much money you make every month. Step 3. Check your emergency cushion. Ask yourself, if my income stopped tomorrow, how many months could I survive without borrowing money? If your answer is 0 or maybe 1, you're living on the edge. Wealthy people measure their freedom in time, not just in dollars. Step 4. Track your cash flow. Where's your money going? If most of it disappears into debt payments, bills, or lifestyle upgrades, you're working for survival, not freedom. But if your money is being directed into savings, investments, and opportunities that grow over time, you're building wealth. Step 5. Measure your mindset. Finally, ask yourself this: am I living for today or building for tomorrow? Wealth isn't only about your wallet, it's about your vision. Broke people spend their energy escaping the present. Wealthy people spend their energy designing the future. And here's the wake-up call. If you go through these steps and realize you're more broke than wealthy, don't panic. This isn't about judgment. This is about awareness. Because the moment you see the truth is the moment you can start to change it. Wealth isn't something that magically appears when you hit a certain income level. It's something you create by making intentional choices, starting today. This is the moment you stop lying to yourself. This is the moment you take control. This is the moment you start the journey from broke to wealthy. So let's take a step back. We started with a question that most people never dare to ask themselves. Am I broke or am I wealthy right now? And as we've seen, the answer isn't about how expensive your car is, how big your house looks, or how many zeros are on your paycheck. It's about the truth underneath the surface. Do you have savings, or are you one emergency away from panic? Do you own your life, or does debt own you? Do you live to impress others, or are you quietly building real security? Do you control your money, or does your money control you? Wealth is not about numbers. It's about freedom, peace of mind, and choices. Broke is not about poverty. It's about living trapped, stressed, and vulnerable, no matter how much money flows through your hands. And here's the key takeaway. You don't have to wait to become wealthy. Wealth starts the moment you take control, the moment you shift your mindset, and the moment you decide that freedom matters more than app. The fact that you made it this far into this video means you already care about your financial truth. And that alone separates you from the crowd. Most people avoid the question. You faced it. That's the first step toward building real wealth. So whether your current reality shows that you're more broke than you thought or more stable than you gave yourself credit for, the important thing is this: you know where you stand. And when you know where you stand, you can finally take the steps to move forward. Now I want to hear from you. After everything we've gone through, after facing the tough questions and breaking down what it really means to be broke or wealthy, where do you stand right now? Be honest. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if you realized you're doing better than you thought, or if this was the wake-up call you needed. Because trust me, you're not alone, and sometimes just sharing your truth is the first step to changing it. And if you found value in this video, don't stop here. I've got more content that dives deeper into money, mindset, and the journey to financial freedom. Check out my other videos after this one, because every step you take, every new piece of knowledge you gain, is another brick in the foundation of your future wealth. And remember this: wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about living free. So take control, start today, and I'll see you in the next video.